guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of distressing today. I'm going to be using the Letters of Love kit. Not 100% sure what I'm going to be making with it, but I know I want them to sort of like look a little bit more distressed than they are, because these are the envelope ones, and then I've just sort of like distressed it a little bit, and which I think they look really nice, and I want them to look a little bit sort of oldie. So I'm going to just show you a couple of ways that I'm going to be doing it today. So I've cut these out. This is the kit. I did give you a quick flip through in the Friday freebie. You've got lovely lacy bits, you've got a couple of backing papers, some envelopes, some ephemera, some bits and pieces on there which are lovely. So it's a really nice one. Oh, if I got everything caught under there. It's not quite, it's sort of Valentine-y, but it's not. And all of these little bits of ephemera can be used in your vintage journals that you're doing as well, which are lovely. So the first thing that I have done, I've actually printed on the back, because I know that these ones aren't going to be stuck to a page. So I've printed the lacy page on the back, and then I've just sort of like distressed it a little bit. I folded it in half and just sort of like inked these little bits just with some distress ink. I'm using the Ground Espresso and also the Vintage Photo on these, which are just lovely. I haven't backed these ones because I want these to be pockets, but again, if I wanted it to be sort of like in a little, as a journal card, I might sort of like just back a piece of, pop a bit of tea stain paper or something on there. But can you see, I've just sort of like folded this down and sort of like distressed it a little bit. You sort of like bend the corners and ink them. I just think they look so good. Love them, and it's so simple. And I've been asked quite a few times how I do it and what I use, so I thought I would take the time today and do it. I was going to do sort of like a mixed media one, so this is sort of mixed media, and it's a little bit in between. So if you don't do mixed media, this is quite a nice one to get you into, you know, a start of using different you know, mediums. So I'm just going to take my scissors. Oh, excuse me. Actually, I'm going to take my little Fiskus ones. Now, you can get distressing tools, but I do have one, but I do find scissors. You don't even have to open them up. You can just use the edge, and it just distresses the edge lovely. Now, I'm going to get one of my little daubers. I'm going to use a little bit of the Vintage Photo. I'm actually going to pop it onto my table and just go round the edge. Normally, I sort of like do it like that, but this way, you sort of get a little bit more blending in. Let me move these back. So just pop it on your table or your craft mat, whatever you've got. Some of you have got glass mats, and it will just, this just rubs off. So we've got that on there. I'm going to do a little bit on the back, like this. So this is just using the inks. So use whatever inks you've got. Now, I've mentioned it a few times, but I just love these daubers. These are fabulous. I had these in a set, and they're big domed ones. So they're like my little finger ones, but big. And I just think they're great. So what I'm going to do, I've just inked around the edge, which is what we all do, don't we, when we're inking. Now, on some of them, you can see sort of like a little faint line where they have been sort of folded. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bend it on that little line, just not too much, and then I'm just going to get my scissors and just rub that on there, and then I'm going to get some ink, and I'm just going to rub that down there like that. So instead of just going around the outside, it looks like this is sort of like being folded and sort of oldie-woldy, doesn't it? Let's do the other side as well, so it sort of matches. Can you see? Which I think is lovely. And also you can just sort of like just bend that just a little bit and just give it a little bit of an ink. Can you see? So it looks like it's sort of like been bent and squashed and popped it in a little somewhere to keep safe. So that's it. How simple is that? It's really, really good, isn't it? So I'm going to take one of the big envelopes. There is a big envelope here, like this. So again, I'm just going to distress the edge with my scissors, like that. And again, yeah, like you say, I do have, like I said, I do have a distress tool, but I can never find it. I've had so many and I keep losing them. I sort of hang them up or put them somewhere safe and can never find them. So I'm going to use, again, the vintage photo and just go around like that. Move these bits out of the way. Like this. So again, you can use inks, you can use any ink. I don't usually do the back on this one because I'm going to use it as a pocket. Now on this bit there's a faint line where the little envelope is, if you know what I mean, the little flap of the envelope. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just make a little bend on that bit, just bend that just a little bit and just distress that so it looks like it could have been opened, like that. Little bit of ink just down there like that. Can you see? So that's the line of the envelope on there, and then I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm not going to go up over the flowers, the roses. I'm just going to do this little bottom bit, just so you've got the shape, can you see, of the envelope like that, which I think is lovely. Now the other thing I'm going to use, I'm going to use these, which are my aqua colours, and they're like sort of like pastels, which are water soluble. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit there. Now be careful if you're using water on your digitals, if you're using an inkjet printer, because they will smudge. So just use a tiny bit of water, and it just gives that little bit of sort of distress on there, just darkens that up like that, which I think looks really, really good. Now I've also got this one, which is, that one was Van Dyke Brown, and this one is Venetian Red. So I'm just going to pop just a little bit down there. You can wet it and you can just wipe it with your fingers. Just gives it another little, you know, element on there, which sort of distresses it. And I quite like this Venetian Red because we've got the lovely red roses on here. And this just gives it a nice little red tint to it. But again, like I said, don't use too much water. I just think they look fabulous. I love them. Back to a little bit more ink. Rub the ink on the water and it just makes it look like it's been sort of like got little water bits on it, where it's got a little bit damp, where it's been saved somewhere, doesn't it? Which I think they look great. So that's a great way of doing it. So I'm just loving these. So let's just distress this one. So we're using the ink, we're using the aqua the aqua colours. I'll pop a link down to these. You probably got them anyway in your stash somewhere. So I'm trying to get back into the mixed media bit, but today I just wanted to get a few of these done, so we can sort of like start on a few new sort of like little projects for next week. Not quite sure, like I said, what to do with these, but I don't want to get into doing a big project. I just want to do a few little bits, different bits here and there. So that's just going around the outside. Again, I'm going to do the back because these will be like journal cards. Just a little bit around there. I might just swap that for a little bit darker. So we can go in with the ground espresso on this one. And here you can see where it's got, you know, in the ephemera it's been folded anyway, but we're just going to sort of enhance that just a little bit. It's not quite folded halfway on that bit, can you see, but this bit is. So it's sort of been folded in odd ways. I'm going to add a little bit of grunge to this bit. Pop that over. I'm going to add a little bit of the crayon to there as well. A little bit of water, not too much. Just a little bit on there, which I think look fabulous. And I'm going to just, what should we do, just a little bit down the side, just so it looks a little bit crumpled. Bend and ink, there we go. A little bit of bend, and just so it gives a tiny little shadow. Should we have a little bit of this on here? Makes them look just a little bit old, doesn't it? Which I look fab. But I'm going to actually just ink that bit at the back as well. And then we've got a lovely little oldie-woldie love letter. And that says, to dearest, my dearest Clara. Oh, love them. I think they are just fabulous. What should we do? Should we do another letter? I love these. It's such a nice thing to do as well. If you're not quite sure what to do. You know when you come in your craft room and you think, oh, what am I going to do today? You've got all your bits and pieces around you. But if you get a little bit of ephemera out and just sort of like give it a little bit of a distress, it's very therapeutic as well. I do like it up in my craft room. Just takes you to a little other place, doesn't it? Should we just do a little bit there? Well, it stops me thinking about doing the washing and what's for dinner and things like that. You don't have to worry about that when you're in your craft room, do you? There we go. A little bit of ink. Again, you can also use sort of things like embossing powders on here. You can use anything that you've got just to grunge them up. Let's do the back. Am I in the right one? I think so. It's nice and quiet today. Obviously it's Sunday today, so the workmen are not there today. So it's so quiet. It's been fabulous. So there we go. Look at these. Just lovely. And the other thing I was going to use was my Stabilo, which is the water-based pencil, which works on paper, glass, plastic and metal. And I love these. I absolutely love them. But they do make, because on this paper, because it's 160 GSM that I've printed on here, you need to add a little bit more water with the Stabilo. So you've got to be really careful. That's why I try and do it a little bit lighter. So I think these ones are a lot better, the aqua colours, like that, because you don't have to use so much water to spread the colour. I just think they are fabulous. Just get your finger in there, just make it all nice and grubby. A little bit of colour in there, like so. Should we put a little bit on the back, shall we? Like that. Once these are all dry, they dry a little bit lighter, like that. So how simple is that? I'm just going to add a little bit more just to that edge. Love them. Look at them. Don't they look good? Should we do another envelope? Do I have another envelope? This one doesn't. This is like the back or the front of the envelope. This is the back of the envelope. Can you see? Because we've got the little lines on there. So let's just do this one first. Let's grunge the edges. I might actually put one of these in my little eclectic-y journal, the one that's got the no-sew spine on it. I haven't done anything to that since I last showed you, but I think one of these would actually look really nice in there. So let's just scrunch that. I'm going to just scrunch that a little bit. Just a little bit of light scrunching. Look at that. A little bit of ink. You can use normal crayons and use whatever you have. Don't think you have to go out and buy all these bits and pieces. I've just got all these because I've been doing it for so long. I don't need to do the back. That's why I've got them all. But you can use, just find what you've got. If you've got crayons or coloured pencils, just use those. Or a little bit of watercolour you can use on there. Got some watercolour pencils or just a little palette, just a little bit of that. Tiny bit of water on there. Love them. Should we have a little bit of, let's just pop a little bit of red just around the little stamp on there. Now again, you can just keep adding to these. I don't want them to have too much on because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet. I just want them to look sort of like grungy. Look at that. They look fabulous, don't they? I think they look really, really good. I want to do this one actually because I want to do that little flap on there. So just distress. I might probably end up adding a little bit of fabric or like a little cluster or something on these as well because this is quite plain here. So seeing it's going to be sort of like a pocket, excuse me, which one are we on? Oh, that's the darker one. Seeing it's going to be a pocket, we can add anything to them, can't we? So what shall I make with all this stuff? I think one of you lovelies suggested a folio, because I don't really want to start on a journal yet. So I might actually make a folio. We shall see. So again, where the little envelope, the little flap line is, I'm just going to fold down on there, just to come to there. Just ink that like that, and then just a tiny bit, just pinch it. Pop a little bit of ink on there. Can you see? So then you can see the little flap. And then we've got the other one. I think it's very faint, but I think it's there. Like that. So we shall add, let's add some of the darker one. This is the aqua crayons. Let's pop that there so it looks like a little bit of shadow. under there. My fingers all inky as well. There we go. Colour that a little bit. Let's have a little bit of colour up here, along here. Just give these a little bit of shadow on there. But again, like I said, don't put too much on because it all depends what you've printed your ephemera onto. But mine is just on the 160 GSM, so it's quite, although it's a nice weight paper, it's not really good for water. So look at that, it's grungy back, but there we go, look at that. Isn't that just lovely? Love them. Right, I'm going to save those for a minute. Actually, what I might do, I might actually do this quickly. This is what I want to do. Let's move these bits out of the way. Let me just, oh, I'm not worried about that ink because we're grunging everything anyway, aren't we? Let me just quickly, I will speed this up. I'm just going to quickly cut this out. This is the lovely, lovely envelope. And then we can distress this as well. There we go, perfect. So look at that lovely envelope. I printed, like I said, I printed on the back as well. So that's going to be the inside. So let's just quickly ink this little bit. Just around the edge. Which bit do we need to ink? This bit, don't we? Perfect. And that little bit. Super! Right, let's just fold this down along that line. Like that. We shall fold this one down. Like that. There we go, open those up and then we'll just fold these in. So these little side bits, pop those in like that. Perfect. And then that folds up and that folds down. Super. Okay, I'm going to just distress this a little bit. Just around the edges before we stick it down. And I'll ink it, and then I'm going to see if I need to distress the side as well. So let's just ink, not the side, the middle of it. Just a bit of ink. Again, you don't have to do this distressing as much as I do. You just distress, you know, with a lighter one. You might not like it too dark, but I'm quite liking this dark at the moment. I'm just going to bend that way. So we're going to see this bit, so, and this inside bit. Just ink this a little bit darker. There we go, just like that. Perfect. So that's the back and then that's the front. So what I think I might do, although I'll probably cover this up with something, I'm just gonna pinch little bits just like that, just so that we can pop a little bit of ink on there. Like that. Just so these envelopes look like they sort of like been opened and you know, folded a little bit and scrunched up, which is great, isn't it? I'm going to pop just a little bit like there on the front. Pinch that bit. Like that. Love them. Okay, should we add a little bit of the, I think I'm going to add this reddy colour. Venetian red, wasn't it? Just a little bit. On there. Like that. Should we just have a little bit? Oops, a bit hard. It's a nice colour because it's not too red, is it? So it says sort of like Venetian red. It's sort of a rusty colour. But it goes sort of like with a sort of love letter theme, doesn't it? Without being too much sort of in your face red. Fabulous. I'm going to have a little bit just there. Perfect. So this is going to go up there and down. I think that's enough. Oh, I like that. A little bit darker there. I'm liking that because you could even put one of these sort of like on the front, couldn't you? Loving it. Oh, I've got these as well, I forgot. I've got these are little sayings. So I could probably pop them one on these little poems or words. Oh, I could just do that. I think we need a little bit more just there. Perfect. Now I'm going to glue this wherever my glue is. There we go. Just a little bit of tacky glue on here. Look, I've got all my inky bits inside. My messy bits. A little bit of ink glue there. A little bit of glue just down the side. Fold that down. Look at that, love it. You could actually make a little closure with one of the little hearts. Did I have the little hearts here somewhere? I think. What did I do with those? Here we go. Good. Maybe we'll have, is this a darker one? That's quite nice. I think I would probably back that. I might do a little heart closure, but this is a little bit too soft, I think. But you could pop it down there just so it would sort of tuck in, but I don't think that's quite strong enough. I need to pop that onto a little bit of card, but I think I'll probably do that as the closure. But loving that. So that's that one. Should I pop one of these in on? What do you think? The shadows where the soft winds sigh. Should I put that one on there? I think I might do that. Let's just cut these ones off. Distress the edge. A little bit of grunge. Oops, this is where I'm making a mess. It's all the little bits off here, isn't it? So I think I should be doing it like that. I'm going to distress this a little bit. Just like that. Lovely. I'm going to pop it. I'm going to just glue this on. And then I can add a little bit more distress around the edges. Look, I've even got it up my fingernails. Actually, I tell you what would look good on these is those portrait photos, wouldn't they? I think I've used all the women up though. There we go. I don't want to decorate them too much because I'm not quite sure, like I said, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with them. But I'm going to use just a little bit of crayon just to give that a little bit of a, just a little bit of a shadow in there. There we go. Perfect, look at that, that looks really good, doesn't it? Don't really want to put too much. The end of that feels like it's gone hard. Maybe I need to sort of scrape a little bit of it off. Look at that, love it. Doesn't that look good? Right guys, what was I going to do? I was going to, let's just sort these out. These are the ones that I haven't done and these are the ones that I have done. Loving that. Do we want to put a little heart on? Do with a little red heart really, couldn't we? There's a little red heart. Oops. That looks nice, doesn't it? I'm going to stick this on as well. I think. Do you think we need a little bit of fabric underneath? I think I might just keep this flat. I can always add to it. When I think I'm finished, I always add a little bit more, don't I? A bit of a nightmare like that. Let's go for this one because I think it's going to be a little bit, just a little bit of shadow under there. There we go. Fabulous. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look lovely? That's really nice. Okay, let's pop all these bits up there. Now, what I did want to do, I think, which is my little eclectic journal. Remember we popped those in. I haven't done anything in this since. What shall we do? Do we have any room to put anything? And we could put something on here. Where's the smaller one that I did? Is this a smaller one? That's a smaller one. Let me take a look. This one, this is one that I thought it might go on because we can't write on this anyway. But I just think, because we've got the roses up here, that just, this envelope just about fits on there. And then we could take this little letter. We've got a couple of letters here actually. We'll just put that one in. What other ones have we got? This little one. Look at that. Doesn't that look fab? And then these are journaling cards because you can journal on the back. I think we need one with roses on. If I'm going to pop that one in, I think maybe we will have this one. Just to add that little bit of colour. Oh, I do like that. That's what we are going to do. Look how grubby that is on the back. Let's pop a little bit of glue on here. And on here. See what I mean about these bits of ephemera? They are fabulous because they're not just to go into one journal. You can use them in all sorts of ways. They're just fabulous. I love them. So make sure we've got... Oh look, that just fits absolutely perfect in there. sure that's held it down like that. Pop these in there. Oh, I love it. And then that little one in there like that. And then we've got a little crystally dingly dangly down there. I wonder, this is what I was thinking of, these little ones. I don't think I've got a huge amount of the women. I need to cut some out. We've got that little one. What else have we got? We got a bigger one, smaller one. That one's quite nice though, isn't it? I like that one. Oh, I like that one. No, I think that one goes really well. I might back that with something because I really don't like white backgrounds. Unless, oopsie daisy. Should we just ink it a little bit? Should we just grunge it? Just a little bit. And I'm going to just bend that. Oh, I like this one. I think that's going to look great. I'm going to take a little bit of the red on there. Add that down. A little bit of the pencil in there. Just to make it look a little bit grubby. So that's fabulous. Now, how are we going to attach that? I don't really want to stick it. Let's have a look. I've got my little things. Shall we have this? Is this a bit too... Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Maybe I need to sort of put a bit of alcohol ink on these little paper clips, but that just sitting on there looks great, doesn't it? Oh, I love that. Look at that, guys. Little journaling cards, nice little grungied up. It's a little letter. Little love letters in there, which is beautiful. Love it. So there we go, guys. I'm going to leave it there for now. I will finish off grunging some more of these up, but I am just loving them. So remember, just bend where you can see the little envelope bit, the little flap. This one I've just bent, squashed it. Oh, I don't know what happened there, but my camera just turned off. So anyway, so that is the way I have grunged up this lovely ephemera. I think they look fantastic, don't they? I think they look really, really good. And just by bending these little bits makes such a difference. So we've got lots of little bits and pieces to use now. So what I have used, so that I showed you like 3 different ways, so really simple. So that was the ink, so that was the Distress ink, which is whatever colour you've got. I just used the Ground Espresso and the Vintage Photo. And then we've got the Stabilo pencil. So just be careful if you're using it, like I said before, on just not watercolour paper or mixed media paper, because it will, if you use too much water, it will just make your paper go funny, and the ink will sort of like all go everywhere. So it doesn't make it nice. So just use a little bit of water. And I've also used my aquacolor crayons as well, which are fantastic. I love these. So that's 3 different ways that you've got. But again, that you use whatever you have, which is lovely. But I'm just loving these. So I will finish off doing the rest of them. Get ready to sort of make something or other next week. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.